If you're a runner and you struggle with shin splints, this is the video. Just listen to this video. Let's get rid of them. So first, tip number one is to actually rule out a stress fracture. So sometimes what we think are shin splints actually turn out to be stress fractures, which involve a tiny crack in the bone, and we definitely do not want to be running on those at all. I'll list some common ways to differentiate between shin splints and stress fractures here. Pause the video if you need to read it. So second, you'll want to undergo a temporary reduction in your overall training load. So shin splints are often caused from doing too much too fast with too little recovery. Essentially, they're an overuse injury like most running injuries are. This will simply give your shin some time to adapt to the stresses of running and be able to tolerate them better. So third tip I have is to strength train, and I'll list some specific muscles to hone in on here, but strength training just helps raise our legs' capacity to be able to tolerate the stresses and demands that running places on them better. The biggie here is the calves. Really hone in on strengthening those calves, especially the soleus. Tip number 4 is to begin a program of graded exposure. And this sounds fancy, but it's really nothing more than just working back into it gradually and incrementally, as opposed to just jumping back into the previous volume of running that you were at. Tip number 5 is to consider your running form. And first of all, there's no such thing as perfect running form, but there are some things that can help. So for example, your cadence is how many steps you take per minute. And increasing your cadence can sometimes be helpful for those who struggle with shin splints. Tip number 6 is to consider using an orthotic to help you work back into running. Sometimes this can help provide some temporary relief for those who struggle with shin splints. If you do this, I don't want you to rely on the orthotic long term, but rather just use it as a means to work back into running. I want you to be able to rely on your own strong muscles to run rather than grow accustomed to using an orthotic. Tip number 7 is to try running on different surfaces like concrete, grass, trails, gravel, turf, things like that. There is some conflicting research to back this one up, but it's my belief that just providing some variance to the stresses that come from different surfaces can make it a bit tougher to lead to an overuse injury like shin splints, so it's worth giving a shot. I hope this helped, and I hope you can get back to running without shin splints.